All right, so I'm going to talk about two more Oakland Athletics transactions that they made. They're not as big as some of the others, but they're still notable. So, yeah, first one, the Oakland Athletics have reached a deal with Stephen Vogt. He was a former catcher for the Athletics through 2013 through 2017. And so I was a pretty big fan of him at the time. He was an all-star. I was always, a big fan of Stephen Vogt. I loved him, when he was clutch for us in the playoffs back in the day. 2013, and I'm glad he's back. If I'm being honest though, I feel like the A's didn't bring him back like expecting him to be good. I think they did it for fan attention more. I mean, they signed him for 1 year deal and $850,000. It's not a big contract by any means. He's 37 years old. He's a journeyman. He's been on like many different teams since he left the A's in 2017. He was even on the Giants at one point, so he's moved around a lot. But he's a fan favorite on the A's for sure. I mean, I believe in Stephen Vogt. That was like a chant whenever he was at bat. And I mean, will I think he'll do anything for the A's? Probably not. But I guess it's cool he's on the team for nostalgia and I guess fandom. I mean, I have a jersey of him. He was a big fan favorite back in the day. But I guess it's cool. I mean, it's sort of a slap in the face that we're just bringing back an older guy like this with the hopes of being relevant when we're simultaneously losing other fan favorites. But I guess that's the way it is. So the other transaction I'll talk about is Josh Harrison. He signed with the Chicago White Sox. Another move I sort of expected to happen. I mean, J-Hay, he was going to be a cheap deal for us, so I was hoping the A's could get on board with a contract with him. But, at the end of the day, he played good in the second half of the season last year. I mean, Josh Harrison was part of the mid-season trade, I guess, platoon that happened. Of course, we got Marte in the midst of it. We got Harrison and some others, and they're all leaving us now because they were basically rental players at the time. But Josh Harrison, he was one of my favorite players to watch. I mean, he was 34 years old and he was hitting great last season. He's a 2-time All-Star, and he went to the White Sox, a team that was sort of desperate for a second baseman. But although he didn't spend much time with the A's, I thank him for making the second half of the season, although we didn't win much, making it more fun. I mean, he was a great hitter. He was flying around the base paths. And he was pretty good for us last year. He wasn't bad for Oakland, and he had a 279 average last year combined with when he played with Washington and the A's. But it's unfortunate he's gone. I like the guy a lot, but they needed a second baseman, and I know the A's, they're not going to re-sign a guy that old. So that's the way it is. But yeah, 2 smaller transactions. Man, the A's not looking good at all. I have very low expectations, but we'll see what happens. So those are 2 transactions that happened. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys later, and yeah, go A's.